Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Harris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Good morning, DJ. Good morning, Harvey. Good morning, Jermaine.
Street coffee.
Treadmill.
Right. AKA treadmill.
Treadmill.
Oh, man.
Ride in.
Hey,
Look
Jack,
at my
you better
back.
believe
Look talk about the track of my tears, right?
Right.
Yeah, man, look at these tracks on my back.
Smoke it.
As many times I've been run over. What's happening, man? Oh, you sporting your Bucks gear today?
Hey. Huh?
They just got the Raptors tonight. I mean,
Huh?
No, I think I might go to the game. You know,
So you should have came the other night. Then you could have got that hat that Damian Lillard made.
man, I got a better hat than that up in the car.
Really? I got to see that. Hey, but that hat was kind of dope, though.
Yeah. No, I liked it too. I just don't like the
the material.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems so
But
cheap.
that's how you can afford to give out 10,000.
Yeah, because it was so cheap.
Nah, they got enough money to give out solid hats.
You know, you gotta
I went on the night where they was giving out them compensatory rings a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wanted those.
So I don't know who actually got like the real rings. I know they gave rings to the
players,
everybody, to
and
the players and the staff.
Yeah, but then also the people who worked at Five Serve got a ring.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But I don't know if they got the real rings or they got a different, because the real ones, man, that's
worth some break.
That's worth some money.
I would still keep that.
Yeah.
Keep it for your grandkids or something, you know. Like I said, Giannis is like Obama to me. You know, when we was growing up, we would always hear, man, the Bucks would never win a championship.
Yeah.
And he ended up doing it. When we was growing up, what we hear, we'll never see a black man become president. What we do, we saw a black man become president. So he like Obama to me, man.
We got close in 2001.
Sure did.
One
when they
game away from
cheated
the finals.
with Philly and the Bucks, and we was cheated.
My mom was like, "Boy, if you don't go on
Man,
with
they
cheated
Scott
us,
Williams. That's
Man,
Scott
Big
Williams.
Dog
Scott
had
Williams.
that shot, and they fouled
Yeah, but
him.
it
They
should
didn't
never
call
got
it.
down.
Yeah.
He missed
You're
the
right.
game. What was it? Game 5, game 6?
Yeah, game 6.
I thought that was on the Irvin Johnson play, man.
No,
No, man,
game
that was
6
on
we
the
won.
Big Dog.
Under the basket,
No.
Irvin Johnson.
No.
Foul too, though.
No,
Right, game 6 is when he got suspended.
Yeah.
Big Dog had that shot right on the side of the key. It's
You
like
must
the
be
left
talking about
side of
game
the key.
7, because game 6 we won. Because remember,
Yeah,
Ray
it was the
Allen had
one
about
that was in
40
Philly.
something.
Yeah, it was one that was in Philly after Ray Allen dunked on everybody.
Mhm.
Big Dog came around the screen. It's like the top of the key. It's the left side of the free throw line, and where he was like 95%
Right.
butter.
Right.
This cat pulled up for the shot, which would have won the game.
Pressure.
But he was fouled.
Pressure.
Wait a minute. Did Johnson get the rebound? I know Johnson.
Man,
was in
Irvin
that
Johnson
play.
had hands like feet, man.
Yeah, but I remember he was in the play.
The other Irvin Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that cat.
Another Irvin
Yeah.
Johnson.
Hands like
that
feet,
one.
man.
Well,
Yeah, man, we was cheated, man.
okay.
And then they just dismantled the team.
Hey, but did I
That's
ever
when he broke
tell
up the
y'all?
big three. Yeah.
Did I ever tell y'all the story of when the Bucks was in the championship thing, and Bobby Porter's brother came to my house, and I had no clue it was Bobby Porter's brother. He came to with my guy Irvin White, and I kicked them both out of my house because Irvin brought a stranger to my house, and I didn't know who he was. So I got this rule that you don't bring nobody to my
Yeah,
house
that's
and I
the
don't know who you
rule.
is. Yeah.
It don't matter if it was
I don't-
Jesus' cousin.
Yeah,
He
which
gotta
is-
go.
but this is the crazy thing about it, though. This is the crazy thing about it, and I
Not
was
Jesus.
with you.
Jesus is cousin.
Well, I mean, right. Jesus, cousin, he can't come. Jesus, you can come in, but Jesus, nah. But the crazy thing about
that
this,
would have been
DJ,
John.
well, he can't come in. You ain't Jesus. But this is the crazy thing about it, man. Me and my other guy who was at my house at that time when I kicked Bobby Porter's brother out, didn't know who he was. We watching the game to when the Bucks won the championship. So we at home watching the game. And my guy looked at me. He said, "Dude, is that the dude that was just at your house?" So we looking at the screen. They on the court celebrating. It's him and my guy Irv. They standing next to Giannis. They celebrating. Come to find out, Bobby Portis grabbed him and hugged him and said, "This is my brother." My guy looked at me and was like, "Bro, you kicked Bobby Portis' brother out your house. We could have been at, come to find out they was coming to give us tickets to the game. We would have been at the game on the floor party, but because I was evil,
You might want to change your house rules.
that's why I said, and to this day, I operate with crow
That's how crazy
and stuff on my face because I'm
stay
like,
firm on your rule, man. That's okay.
but I could have been nicer because then I could have gave them the opportunity to say who he was.
Hindsight
Like,
is
but
2020.
I snapped out the gate like, man, don't bring nobody to my house. Get out. And then found out when they were celebrating.
And that was right after the pandemic, man. So it was all type of stuff going on, you know?
But I feel stupid now, even now to this day, 4 years later.
Stand on it, man. You all right.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby Portis came in and really ingrained himself in the community. You know, we were talking yesterday about Bob Uecker and just, you know, what Bob Uecker was. And I'm thinking, when you think of Milwaukee, you think of the Crusher.
Yeah.
You think of Duck Crusher. Bob Uecker. Would you say, maybe that was back in the day people thought about the Fonz. But did you say the Fonz? Yeah.
I don't know nothing about the
You don't know
Fonz.
about the Fonz? Happy Day?
I heard of it.
You got a statue.
Where?
It's off of, what's that?
Down in Wisconsin? Yeah, right there on the bridge.
I may have saw it all the time. I don't remember a statue though. Maybe I don't walk over there that much.
Yeah, I think where Cops is right now is where they filmed the exterior, where you see the drive-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember I was in high school when they were filming the exterior. We see the film crews out early in the morning. Yeah, because what a lot of people don't always know in filmmaking is that when you see those night scenes, they're really early in the morning. So a lot of times I'll shoot night scenes. You think, oh, it's night. Well, it's early morning. But yeah, we could see it. If I was on that bus, that meant I was late.
Wow.
Because that 68 went to Bayshore. That means I'm late.
They don't even have a 68 no more, do they?
I don't know where it is, where it runs. Because, we had one that ran.
They didn't change so many
We called that
names
the ferry chasing. So we go to ferry chasing road. That one on Santa Monica. That's the one when I'm on time. And if I'm late, it's the one where I'm running through Bayshore before they even put walls up at Bayshore.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of an open mall. So. All right, man. So let's get this out the way. We can move on and move to next season. So how would you grade the Packers? Offense, defense? I ain't going to talk about special teams because special teams wasn't bad, though, because with Reed. But how would you?
We needed it.
If you gave him a grade.
Overall or separately?
Do separate than your overall.
Offense, I'll give it a B. Defense, I'll give it a B. Special teams, I'll give it a B minus. And then overall, it's like a B minus.
Okay. I gave the offense a C. And the saving grace, well, I'll do C plus. The saving grace was obviously Josh Jacobs. He had just a phenomenal year.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, the jury's still out on Jordan Love. I saw the conversation you and Craig was having, and you put the article out there. His next step is to be more vocal, show leadership.
Right.
No, his next step is not to throw untimely interceptions. That's the next step he needs to take. That's just my humble opinion. But when it matters, you just can't throw. And I saw an interesting stat where he had the lowest number of sacks this year. Well, one that says how good that offensive line was.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get a lot of credit. We found out though when Turner went down, just
right.
I think Myers got hurt too. So I really give the offensive line a B plus.
I mean, if we're gonna give the guy that's in New York a lot of leash, then you gotta.
No,
well, if we just go back into history, people didn't like Rodgers early on either.
Right.
And even that third year was rocky. Even though the third year we ended up winning the Super Bowl, but that third year, we was a wild card team, and we just came into the playoffs hot, ended up winning. But it's only his second year as a starter. And on top of that, he did not have a bad season.
He did not have a bad
on
season.
Top of him being injured majority. I mean, since game one. He didn't have a healthy season. And so, he was all right.
He didn't hurt his arm until the Bears game. So The arm was fine.
But he didn't throw an interception until the playoffs. After
Yeah, but at the beginning, because he had
right, I'm saying, but after
He came back-
remember they kept calling him Toyota Thon. After what was it, the bye? He didn't throw any interceptions.
yeah.
So, and he did the same thing last season.
Yeah, it just
You
seemed
know?
like there were some games where just untimely. You're right. It's the second year.
I mean, like I said, we can't live and die by every.
yes, we
single
can, and yes,
game.
we
No,
do.
you
Yeah, you
cannot,
do. Yes, you
man.
do, man. Come on, man. We do.
That's
We
why
live in a diet.
I'm here to tell you all to relax. You know what I'm saying?
That's what your boy said. Wasn't
Yeah. And he going down the drain.
it? He said he being Aaron Rodgers don't know if he's going to be back with the Jets. It really depends on
You
who
should go to the
GM.
Steelers.
Now, I heard that Adams made a comment that said he wouldn't mind returning to Green Bay.
But he's on a contract though, so that would have to be a trade.
That'll be trade.
Well, but you know what? Depending on what happens with Christian Watson, he's out next year.
Yeah, 2 years, really.
Yeah, when you look at that, so that,
Watson and then Dobbs, another concussion.
I think Dobbs, he's going to have to make some. I know a lot of people say it's being soft, but when you look at your long-term health,
Yeah.
You talk about these concussions, man, and he had the Guardian helmet on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and still when he hit his head, and
Yeah.
no, I mean people have hit it harder,
Yeah.
but for him already, he's
Yeah.
already in that. So
So, man,
you have
that's
to
like
make because
Tua.
look at Al Toon, man. Al Toon will sit up and tell he has to wear dark glasses. Yeah, he's light sensitive, man. He quit because of concussions. And
Now, Tua should quit, too, because Tua's
Tua's another one, man, where, and I understand you're a warrior. You want to get out there is what you want to do, but then you want to look
Tua,
at.
I would say if Tua gets another one, and he's already had a lot,
A lot,
but
a
if
whole
he
lot.
gets another one, I feel that the league should step in.
Yeah.
Just because we know the outcomes of CTE. And just the lasting effects of
And,
Yes.
and even the immediate effects. Aaron Hernandez, when they did his brain,
Yeah.
and they talked about the damage that because he took a lot of
Right.
concussions.
So wasn't Don Beebe trying to create a helmet that the
Yeah,
NFL?
oh man, you talk about taking some hits.
Yeah,
Don
that the
Beebe
NFL
used to take
didn't.
them, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he used to.
Yeah, he used to take him. So he tried to come up with a helmet that the
Right, and
NFL
there's
wouldn't.
a guy who he was a wrestler. He had a Polish last name. He only wrestled 1 year. He graduated from Harvard, and he got a concussion in the ring.
shows how smart he was.
Yeah, he got a concussion in the ring. He quit, and now he does the whole research into concussion brain injury.
Yeah.
But he just had one. He said, "I'm done."
I mean,
done.
because once you mess up your brain, it's pretty much over because you can't replace your
And
brain.
he's different than a lot of wrestlers because he has a Harvard degree.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a lot of these wrestlers are not college educated.
Yeah.
So, wrestling is what they do. That's how they eat. That's how you live. That's why you hear about these wrestlers going out there, they're performing with injuries because you got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the number of concussions that wrestlers, man, they because I think they outlawed the headshot with the cheers.
Yeah.
Because people were actually they hitting you in the head with the cheer. They
He
pulling
was
it.
bleeding for real.
Yes. Well, the bleeding.
Well, back then.
No, the bleeding back then. Hate to get into.
Was it real?
No,
'Cause I saw-
it was a razor, and you would notice the wrestlers would have tape on, and in the tape they would have a piece. They'd have a razor blade, and watch some.
So what happened with the steel cage match? I forgot which WrestleMania it was.
Oh, you're not talking about Mankind.
I think that is. Yeah.
I don't know how he survived that. When
Yeah.
the Undertaker threw him through
Yeah.
that thing, and he was
He
like
changed
30
his
feet.
name so many times.
Oh man, you got love, dude, love.
They Triple H told a story about how just cheap he was. He would never shower, and he would never take a luggage. He would just carry his stuff in trash bags, and to save his money, he would drive to. So, like, let's say they had a show here,
Mhm.
and then their next show is in, let's just say, Missouri.
Mm.
He would drive there. He wouldn't be like everybody else and
Right.
take the flight
Mm.
or whatever.
Oh, they
just
were
to
talking
save
about a
his
lot
money.
of like some of the dudes who would do
He
limos.
would shower. He would shower with his uniform on.
Oh wow.
And he would,
Mick Foley,
yeah,
Mankind, but dude love.
he would only eat popcorn, but the popcorn he didn't buy, it would be from the concessions, and that would be his dinner.
Look
Wow.
at him.
while he's driving to the next show.
Yeah, I
Wow.
saw.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if he was Dude Love or Mankind. I saw him at the Eagles Club, the rave. But Mick Foley, but he's an author.
Oh,
Dude is brilliant, man. He's, but I don't know how he survived.
yeah, I was about to say, man,
Dude, when and that was not part of it. That it gave away when he did the body slam. It was supposed to, but it opened, man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Dude,
like,
they were like
man, I think some of that stuff
the
might have been
wrestlers was
accidental.
going like, we thought he was dead.
Yeah,
we
man,
thought
yeah.
he was dead, and when dude got up, it was just like. But then he did the famous him and the Rocket Sock connection.
Oh yeah. Man,
Oh,
I
man,
like.
Mick Foley had the whole wrestling thing, but Mankind. Then he started off with the mandolin claw, and then he put the sock on, because that was the whole thing. Put the sock on, and then put.
Yeah.
So what happened to Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
He retired.
He retired.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who
You know
Hacksaw
Hacksaw?
was? He used to come in with the
I
thing.
came when it was WWF,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Undertaker was like two different people, and then his brother Kane,
Yeah.
Right. Who became mayor
and like
in Knoxville?
I think so.
Yeah.
So wait, so it was WWE, then WWE.
No,
Well, no, it was
WWF.
But
Wait,
they got
then
no,
it went
but
to
it-
WWE.
They got sued for trademark infringement. The World Wildlife Federation sued them.
and then they changed it to WWE.
Worldwide.
So what was
Entertainment.
it before that? I think it was like NWO or
No,
it was
NWA they bought NWA.
Mhm.
Okay.
That was owned by Turner,
But NWO was the group.
was the group.
Yeah, because I know it was two wrestling.
New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the group, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's when
No.
Hulk Hogan turned heel.
So there was two wrestling federations.
And there were a lot. Here was AWA. That was Vern Gagne.
Yeah, okay. AWA.
In the South, it was Mid-South.
Okay.
Okay, that was in Memphis. That's where Jerry the King Lawler came from.
Okay.
Then you had that group out of Atlanta. What's the guy's name? I'm trying to think of.
Where did Booker T come from? Because he didn't start off with
No, he didn't start off with
NWA.
NWA, yeah.
NWA.
So he was
Him
with
and
them.
what was him and his partner? What was their name? Oh man, he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
So what
now.
happened to Junkyard Dog?
He died.
He did?
He died. Junkyard Dog. He couldn't wrestle. He
At
had that
all,
one,
yeah.
that one little move. Now I tell you who
Yeah.
Rhonda loved Coco Beware.
Coco Beware was a
She
fool.
loved and
Yeah.
Frankie. Oh, she loved Coco Beware and Frankie.
Coco
that
Beware.
was her guy. Coco Beware.
The Ultimate Warrior that was my guy.
Mine was The Rock.
Really?
Mine
Yeah.
was The Rock.
Well, The Rock was, man, I think if The Rock and Ultimate Warrior that would have fought, I think the Ultimate Warrior that would have won. Because the Ultimate Warrior was a
I mean,
monster.
it's all
He had
it's
mo-
all
it's all-
in
yeah.
in the script. So
Yeah.
whoever they said should have won.
Yeah, to whoever got the popularity wins, really.
Mhm.
And then the Von Erichs, they had Texas.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
dad did
Yeah.
Texas. So they had the federations, but then Vince McMahon, he just came in because Vince McMahon changed the rules. In the past, they had territories, and you never go into that territory. He started poaching talent. A lot of people don't realize that Hulk Hogan started in AWA.
Mm.
He started AWA. Superstar Billy Graham.
He old enough.
Billy Graham.
Yeah, Jimmy Snooker. All those guys. Nick Bockwinkel.
Nick Bachman. And it was the Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation, they were WWF, WWE.
One of them died, right?
Yeah, man, he died at a pay-per-view. Yeah, pay-per-view. That harness broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then his brother, this was after, because they have the Montreal screw job.
You know what? I just read a brief thing about that. They kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't stop.
They
Yeah.
didn't even stop because
They didn't know what to do.
They
They
didn't
didn't,
think he was dead. Either.
yeah, you just kind of go on, and then they realize, and he said, it's my biggest regret, because he died in the ring. That was, and people thought, and then I'm gonna tell you, man, because it's always about the business. And the
I just found out about that. I didn't even know somebody.
oh
had
yeah,
died.
yeah,
It was
and,
like
and
a couple
prior to
months
that,
ago,
he
I saw.
stayed. His brother left. His brother went to the NWA because he was going to leave anyway because of the contract. And so they had this thing where if you leave in the Federation, you can't leave with the title.
Mhm.
And so he
Right.
ended up wrestling. Who's my guy? Heartbreak Kid and
Shawn
Michaels, and Vince McMahon told him to count him out. He tore up. He spit on Vince McMahon. He tore up the equipment. Came in the locker room, knocked Vince McMahon out in the locker room. I mean, dude was like. So the fact that he's even back with them, and then his brother dies maybe a year after that, which is crazy. You're listening to. I got a call. You're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Milwaukee Black Excellence Awards is celebrating 4 decades of excellence. This year, honoring phenomenal women.
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We are the New Pitts Mortuary.
Voice with your host Keith Parris and Devon Jones, DJ the Protege.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice, and let me just finish up as we were grading out the Packers. So I would give them this year probably a B on all the injuries, everything that's going on. So that would be my score.
I mean,
Like
they
a B.
won more games than last year. That's a success. Now, they didn't have more playoff success, but they played a better team than they did last year. I mean, the Eagles is way better than the Cowgirls were last year. And so, I mean, look, plenty expect the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl.
Well,
You know,
Right
so
now,
well, yeah, I have
where
to.
they playing? If providing them in Detroit, they play in Philly.
oh, they
Philly-
play in
Play in
Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah,
Detroit had the best record.
They had
All
the best record. Yeah.
right, caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You on there?
What's going on, bro?
What's
Good
happening,
morning.
bro?
Good morning.
Hey, you know another person who was like that was John Madden. He only rode that bus. He wasn't flying no plane. He was on that bus.
Right, I heard about that.
You know who else
He
didn't
never,
fly?
he never flew.
Aretha Franklin.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Aretha Franklin, yeah, she wouldn't fly. She had a turbulent when she was early in her career, and after that, she'd be on the bus. She had a whole tour bus. She didn't
So
fly.
she must have, as soon as she got off the stage, took a shower, got on the bus. They must have had food ready for her because she was a big time act.
Man,
So you
look
know
at
she had
those
to travel
buses.
across the.
Those
and
are
buses-
houses on
buses-
wheels, dude.
She had to travel across the world.
But them buses back then wasn't even like how they are now. Them buses was old school.
Yeah,
Old school. We talking about them RV style like Will Smith got to take like 2 blocks.
right.
They
You
still
got to have
probably,
you got a permit to even open it up and land it.
quality for their time, though. They probably were still, better than the average bus.
Oh yeah. The tour buses, for the stars. Now the other folks,
Mm-hmm.
what was it? James Brown, he flew, and everybody else was on the bus.
Well, James had his own plane, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's hard sniffing a lion on the bus, ain't it?
You know what? He wasn't. He had this. It was real interesting because he had an anti-drug policy in the band, and then somebody introduced him to angel dust, and the world changed because he started using. But Bootsy had talked about when they joined. He was like, man, he had these rules about smoking weed. We was smoking weed. I don't know,
Shoot, they was consuming it.
Oh man,
Big time and everything else. So who you got this weekend, man?
Philly. Who got the Commanders?
The Commanders got Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
And then you got Chiefs and
The
And
Rams
Houston.
and Philly,
Chiefs.
and then Rams and Philly.
yeah, because
Philly
Phil, I don't know. That's a tough one.
and Buffalo.
Philly gonna beat the Rams.
You got Buffalo over Ravens.
Yeah.
Buffalo? What?
What?
Yeah.
What? You got Buffalo over?
Yeah. I'm gonna take Buffalo with the Ravens.
Well, I mean, Buffalo defense is pretty
man.
good though.
No,
Yeah.
they not.
Yeah, they are.
Man, you crazy in your head, man.
They
Man,
been giving up 40s.
I don't know what's wrong
What
with
is
him.
y'all talking? What is y'all talking about?
All right, watching.
Hey,
They
y'all
Oh,
watching
he's
the
ain't gonna
games?
give up 40 in the playoffs. They ain't gonna give it up in the playoffs. Though. It's a totally whole different scheme.
Last time Lamar played them, they bust them by 25 points.
Was it in the playoffs?
That was this year.
Was it in the
What are y'all
playoffs?
talking about?
Listen, and they playing at home.
Come
Was
on
it
now.
in the playoffs though? See,
Oh.
playoffs is a whole different scheme though. You scheme differently in playoffs.
Baltimore better than Buffalo.
That's what I said.
I think if
I-
Buffalo makes him throw the ball,
Thank you.
and then they
He
can't,
got more passing touchdowns than
Wait,
him.
hold on. Let me finish, DJ. I know you're your boy.
He's not my boy, but I feel like
He go hard for him, man.
how y'all do the
He got
black
the- he
quarterbacks
got
is
the-
crazy,
he got
man.
the-
You done turned it into something all personal, man. Come on.
When they struggle, when the Ravens
DJ got
struggle,
his
they
boxing
stop the
gloves
run game because they're run first, pass second team.
Exactly.
They established that run game with Henry.
Yeah.
You cancel Christmas, but
Yeah.
if they stop the run game,
Yeah.
make him throw.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he can't throw, but it's a different game when he has to throw.
And that's true, Keith.
But Keith, they not gonna stop the run game because nobody has
That's what I
it.
said. That's why I'm saying if.
It ain't gonna be no if, man. You think Buffalo gonna stop them? You crazy,
Well,
man.
see, you got to look too, man. And when you got enough time to watch videos and set up schemes for the run, so that makes the playoff different.
Hey, let that dude get a full steam ahead. I don't
That's
care
different.
what
Yeah,
scheme you got.
no, That's true. If you get a full steam ahead, the whole thing is to stop them from getting the full steam. So if I can stop you from going up the middle out the gate or stop you on the outside run, you gonna have to
Would
pass.
you bet they start off with
No,
15 in the box?
they.
Exactly.
First of all, it's gonna take 2 of them out the gate because one ain't gonna do it. He's going down.
We got that. But you're gonna have 8 in the box.
Yeah.
You're gonna have 8 in
Yeah.
the box. They're gonna
But guess what? And then guess what? Then there's gonna be some play action going on, and it's
that's
gonna be
what I'm
some
saying.
balls
Make
going.
them throw the ball. Make them throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's how I
Okay.
play them.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, who am I?
All right, man.
All right.
All right, Jay, let's go to it, man.
All right, here we go.
Let me shout out the good folks there, the New Pets Mortuary, Brother Nate Luckett,
Nothing but love.
Deacon Mike Jones. Saw you. We were just in the middle of the.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your hate?
I got 2 hates. You know, my first hate. I didn't talk about this with Keith, but my first hate is all this cussing on TV.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Damn.
it's just out of hand, and I'm like, I can't watch nothing without cussing.
You getting old, bro.
Now, I will admit, music. You know, my music gotta have cussing in it. You know what I'm
gotta
saying?
have it.
My music gotta. Don't give me no edited version.
So you
You
ain't
know
gonna
that makes me more to cuss.
Oh,
You know, if you give me the edited version.
oh man.
But on TV, I want to watch a simple show, a simple program, and not hear no cussing every other word, every commercial break. I don't want to hear that, man. You know, it's just ridiculous. When I was growing up, you was not cussing on TV. You was not. It wasn't no cussing on TV when I was growing up.
Cat is snapping.
You know what I'm saying? Now you turn to regular TV, you turn to cable TV, it's cussing. Usually, you know, when it starts to get a little out of hand, I was on HBO. You know what I'm saying? Sopranos, you know, The Wire, you know, you get that cussing. But now, you know, they cussing on regular TV shows, man. Like, what is going on?
69 years old.
He going
This
off.
is ridiculous. And then guess what? Our kids is watching this, so now they gonna be
TV. That's
no.
what
It's
they learn to cuss.
They learning to cuss in the household,
Yeah,
and
but
in the
I tell you.
household is that TV that got that show on with the cuss. You know what I'm saying? So that it's just grinding my gears.
Oh.
Just grinding my gears with all this cussing going on TV.
Hey.
All right.
He japped out, didn't he?
Man, there's some real hate there, boy. Oh man.
I mean, dude, he went so hard, he's sweating. Y'all need to see this cat.
yeah,
He's over here,
man.
so he mad.
You know what we need to do?
This is warm. What
We
I
need
got
we
on.
need to run him down to the McDonald's on 9th and North. Get him down there with the dudes, with the brothers.
Just too much cussing on TV.
You know what I hate? What you hate, man? Them cussing on TV.
Hey, just sitting in McDonald's early in the morning.
In the morning, man. Commenting on the world. What's your second one, man?
All right, my second one is Free Ray, Free Junebug,
Free Pookie.
Free No. And I know what I just said is gonna be a contradiction, but no, keep their ass in the jail. Matter of fact,
You don't have a problem with cussing on the radio.
and matter of fact, since you talking about freedom, you go to jail too. You get sent to jail too. They in jail. They not in jail for standing up for people's rights. No, they in jail for stealing, killing, committing real atrocious crimes. And you talking about freedom? No, keep them in jail. Matter of fact, and you gotta go with them. You perpetuating this. You perpetuating this, man. This don't make no sense, man. This world and our streets is so crazy, man.
This cat is japping out.
Talking about free, y'all know what I'm saying, right?
I got a problem with cussing on TV on the radio.
I know that was a contradiction, but it was needed. You know, if you gonna use them cusses, it gotta be worth it.
That's hilarious,
Keith,
bro. That's
Keith.
hilarious.
You cannot withhold this segment this long ever again.
I guess, man,
he got a lot of bottled up frustration.
Dude, I've never seen DJ jump out. Dude, he japped.
I'm just telling the truth, man. I'm just
He's like, I'm tired of this. I stands on fucking stands. I can't stand no more.
We've been waiting.
You know, if Ride Out went to jail, you know, we was marching and the police got to tripping, that's something where you say free ride out.
Yeah.
But if Ride Out was ciphering gas, you know what I'm saying, from somebody's car and ended up getting caught, no, keep him in jail because that's dumb.
Yeah.
You know
why
what
you ciphering, bro? Yeah, you right.
Somebody stealing and killing, you know what I'm saying, driving recklessly on these streets. No, they need to stay in jail. Matter of fact, you talking about freedom, you need to go too.
Yeah,
that's hilarious, DJ.
You okay, man?
T-shirts.
Wow.
You want to talk about it? You need some
couch?
He need the couch, man.
I just had to get that off.
Jackie, roll the couch in here.
I just had to get that off, man. I know it's more hate out here, you know, but those two has just been grinding my gears, man.
Put a little miniature couch in here, something, man.
Debo, I'm gonna have to say, DJ, I think that's a little bit past hate. I think that's on japping, because you just japped completely out.
But I will say, I concur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he ain't said nothing wrong yet, other than that cuss word that he has said that he didn't want on TV.
Yeah. So he said over the air so they won't see his face. You can hear my voice, but not see my face
on Facebook and YouTube. So.
And like I said, you know, sometimes when you do have to use that cuss word, it got to be worth it. Yeah. People they just on TV just cussing just because.
Can you work me through this moment of parsimony? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of gets back to I don't eat cabbage, but I eat coleslaw. Is that kind of where we are?
No.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
because you don't mind it in your music, you just can't stand it on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so what's the difference?
Well, we got our thing, man.
Preference.
The difference is edited versions of the music, and so
you ain't playing no edited versions.
I'm not, but I'm saying if we gonna allow our kids to listen to certain stuff, and some people just don't like cussing all together, right? You know, just zero. Yeah. Then there are edited versions. It ain't a lot of edited versions of these TV shows. Yeah. So now now they do edit some of the movies now, but now unless they not dropping the F-bomb,
but don't they?
Because they letting the B word just fly off the rim.
But don't they even? Yeah, but that's common. That's everywhere.
Right.
But my question to you is don't they have like ratings on these shows to where it may not be
give you a warning
for?
I don't know. I ain't in TV.
Right up there in the corner, they'll tell you coarse language. They will tell you smoking.
Well, all these shows is cussing to where they must them.
Don't you think that it's kind
them
of
ratings is loose?
But don't you think it's mimicking kind of real life? This is how real people talk. People didn't necessarily talk the way they talked in their homes in the 50s.
And guess what?
Ward Cleaver probably didn't come home and he come home, he wearing you out.
Right. And
right.
That my point exactly. When somebody get on your nerves, but y'all out in public, maybe it's a significant other, you may not wear them out in public, but when y'all go home, y'all go at it. Why? Because it's a time and a place.
But we get behind
every show, it ain't always the time to just be cussing and just be airing.
You don't remember when, and I can take you back to shows like we could say I Love Lucy. Yeah, you were never gonna see Ricky and Lucy in the bed together. But
explain little Ricky.
right.
Explain little Ricky.
But here come little Ricky.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't stay in their bed.
I mean, the
Andy
night. Griffith show.
Well, had some explaining to do.
I think the codes. I didn't realize this that back in Hollywood they had something called the Hays Code. Mm. This goes back to the 30s and what you could not do in the movies. Mm. And then in the late 60s, they came up with the rating system, right? And so then I didn't realize movies like Bonnie and Clyde done in 68, where it's just gory violence. You saw more movies where you saw nudity. Mm-hmm. You don't have a problem with nudity.
No, I don't got it.
He smiles.
Hey.
All of that anguish.
Pull the cheekbone muscle.
Feel the topic, man.
Let me see.
I'm talking about cussing.
Let me see.
Hey, man.
DJ like, I don't mind him seeing.
But what I'm hearing
It's problem.
is what I'm hearing.
Y'all a fool.
I don't mind looking who him. But
turn the volume down. Turn the volume down. Who's actually listening?
Oh man.
But that's a good one, man. I appreciate that.
But the nudity usually is rated R, so that's not 14.
So it's language. They will be, what is it?
PG-14?
Or is something mature?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where people going, and look, they put those ratings out there because there's a whole lot of things people might find offensive or still find offensive. Certainly, there's still people who have problems with interracial couples, you know, and interracial relationships, and watching that. Here we are in 2025, and that's an issue. All right, here's my hate. Eric Adams was indicted in September for bribery, corruption in public office. He is currently, if he's not on his way to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump.
Wow.
You think pardon might come up?
Of course it is. You know, if I can fall subject to what he's doing and fall under him and yes sir and no sir, then yeah.
Kissing the ring.
Yeah. And I noticed that that the head CEO from TikTok is coming to Trump.
Is he Chinese?
Yeah. He's coming to his.
You know, they'll probably be the only ones there because I didn't pull up what the weather is going to be in D.C. on Monday. It's going to be cold.
Cold as a fool.
It's going to be cold. So let's see if he get the same love Obama got, because in 2008, 2009, when Obama, it was cold that day.
Ooh.
We did a radio program. Yeah, we did radio because we were getting, my sister went to the inauguration. Some other people I know went to the inauguration. It was cold.
We actually watched that in high school. That was the first.
Wow.
Yeah, like we all classes was suspended during that time. We watched the full inauguration. I was a Hope Christian.
Hope Christian. Yeah.
All right, do I get any more hate out there?
Hate.
Let's see. I got any hate out there? No.
Well, call us 414-444-5250. We know it's some hate out there because whenever we don't bring up Haters Nation, it's somebody calling. So 414-444-5250. We in Haters Nation.
All right. Well, since we're talking about hate, I'm gonna say what I hate. I hate playing for a funeral and they don't have my money on time. I hate that so much, man.
That's very personal.
Because then though, you got to sit and wait until after they carry the cat out and for you to leave.
So you want your boat?
I want my money when I walk in, or cash at me, or Zelle or something. Because I don't want to wait until y'all walk out and carry them out. And then they sing this song walking out. This is the song they sing, man. What's that song? Drive slow. That's my. What's that song? I just played it. Debo. You know
that's why I don't do weddings anymore.
Oh,
because people are slow to pay you for weddings.
Doc, I held up a whole wedding for 4 hours.
Yeah, they slow now. They pay the DJ.
No, I held up.
They don't pay the minister. Now, do get paid at funerals. I'm gonna say that. People, but weddings, I don't do them anymore.
Hopefully, you still here and I get married, you're going to get paid.
I want my money. I want my money.
You're going to get paid.
Because I think it's like $3 to get married at the courthouse.
300?
Yeah, it's $3 to get married before a judge.
Man, I charge $600 to play. And
I was, dang.
So
I need to bring my prices down in my head. Maybe I need to scavenge because my prices in my head was.
It depends on what you like. If I'm gonna play for a wedding, because normally it's like 2 or 3 songs you play, so it's like $600.
$200 a song.
Yeah, so I have them to. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he said 3 songs,
yeah.
$600.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So it's and I make sure that, because one time, man, this wedding couple, they tried to play me and make me wait until after they came back from their honeymoon.
Oh no!
And I'm like, but I told them before. I told them Friday.
Make the caterer wait.
Right. Did you make the DJ wait?
Make
Did you
the
make
DJ because DJ is always gonna get paid, and ain't nobody dancing. Let's get there's some hate. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on air.
Hey, good morning.
I know he got some hate.
What's going on, Trey?
Hey, Keith.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, sir.
I got some serious hate this morning, man. This is probably gonna be my worst hate I have, except for Trump. And this is a person. It's a person, and I pray that God will remove this kind of hate from me. But listen to what this chick did to me. All right. Now, y'all know I'm a tennis coach down in
Hey, do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. Take us off speaker because you kind of.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Keith. Okay. But my left ear is going and I can't hear too good, so I'll be talking to people speak. But I'm sorry.
Use the right one.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm teaching tennis, man, and here comes another prodigy. Okay, 9 years old. I started coaching this girl until she was 13. Her mama snatched her. Now, we had this plan together with the United States Tennis Association. She's so that good that she was going into the record books as the youngest female to ever play a professional tennis match at 13 years and 8 months old to dethrone Martina Hingis of Switzerland. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, all right, I was going to mention the race, but race is irrelevant. They both white. This girl's mother pulled her out of the program a month before we was going to start her indoor training to babysit. She is working on her 8th baby, which is expected any day now. And all of them are babies. Stair steps. 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, and she just can't handle it. But why this woman won't stop having babies, I don't know. But she took away the probably most significant honor that I would ever have achieved in my tennis coaching career, because my name would have gone right next to the player in the tennis record books. She is gone. The little girl is gone to babysit. And I hate that woman's guts. All right, okay. Now I got to calm down because I was in the hospital Saturday for my heart because of all this hate.
Oh, man.
And we
You definitely got to calm down.
Again. So I would go in here, drink some decaf, and do some praying, y'all.
And let me give you a little bit. Let me give you a little bit of advice. Give the ulcers, don't get them.
What you say, Keith?
Give the ulcers, don't get them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because guess what? They gonna keep on living. And what is that whole axiom? Hate is like you taking poison, expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, I know.
I heard that, man.
But in the meantime, I hate that broad stinking.
Okay, all right. Howsoever, you're listening to Community Voice. Phone lines open 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. When we get back from break, we'll be inside of the Protege's perspective. Be right back. All right, welcome back to Community Voice, and now it's time for the Protege's perspective.
Often, we are our biggest critics, never seeming satisfied, always looking ahead, and dwelling on the past. Depending on what occurred, we dwell so much that we can't get past our past. That look in the mirror is lonely and often full of disgrace, defeat, and destruction. Left with the feeling of being in the sunken place due to bearing disappointment in your mind, your heart, and even on your face. This feeling stems from multiple times of coming up short, multiple times of needing to be bailed out as the last resort, multiple times of finding yourself in uncomfortable and unfortunate circumstances and wondering, what did I do that for? Everyone takes losses, and in the moment, those losses feel demoralizing. So much that the more losses you take, the further you feel from the success of its gates. This can spiral into more unfortunate decisions and even an ill fate. Through all of your disappointment, do you know that you are loved? So often we get stuck in our own emotions and our own disappointment that we forget to ask ourselves, do you know that you are loved? We get so consumed with what it should be or what it could be that we ignore what it is. And that is the ability to live, learn, and love moving forward. Heartbreak leaves heartache. But do you know that you are loved? Deficits can be disappointing. But do you know that you are loved? Through it all, we must not allow our losses to overshadow our wins. So whether it is family or friends, and maybe you notice some uneasiness coming from within, know that you are loved and those wins will surely trickle in.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller, welcome to the program. J-Man? Jermaine?
Caller, you're on there.
You all right? Caller, welcome to the program.
Yeah, you know what really grind my gears? It's with this reckless driving. First thing I say is, why would y'all even come to this side of town to live? You know, sometimes they be driving so fast. I wish I had a 4x4 so I could just jam it in the front tire so the car can just flip over and they can fly out the windshield. You know, because I just feel like we take so many losses and our insurance premium going up, and it's always them minivans and them 2010s and 5s Malibus that have no whole front clip with two windows missing. That really, really grind my gears. And I just sometimes wish they would just hit a tree so everybody could live in peace and harmony. But I have a real question for you. I notice a lot of the white churches been going against the black churches, and now they've been speaking so much against the authority of women and lesbianism, all kind of stuff. He, she. Do you think a lot of these churches, these pastors and these ordained ministers, do you think they got a jar of Vaseline sitting next to the bed? Because to me, I think it's church porn, because who gets so wild up about lesbianism or women in authority? And I think it's probably because they have something called with the forbidden touch that they already doing, but they just hiding behind the Bible. And they're probably taking that pill for gonorrhea.
I don't even know how to respond.
I acknowledge that they're probably closeted clergy? The answer to that question is yes. And that says a whole lot. Now, you bring up something else when we begin to talk about how people view women in leadership, particularly when it comes to religion and the church. And there's still a lot of resistance to women being in that role. I think it still is for folks a career killer to be openly gay and to try to pastor a church. And so I think that you will continue to see people who will live a clandestine existence. I was watching a video back from the 90s. Yvette Flunder, the Hawkins family, was performing in Washington, D.C., and she came on and did a mini sermon, and she said something. I know what she was directing it at. She said that, because her whole thing was about reconciliation, said, you need to reconcile your bedroom with the pulpit, which was a powerful statement. Knew wasn't going to change. I just wish America hasn't moved the needle that much in terms of how we, certainly how we view women, and then how we view people who are gay. I mean, it's just, that's our reality.
Because the only reason I keep asking, because the people who are always doing all the loudness, they always getting caught in compromises position.
Eddie Long.
Yeah, so I just thought it was kind of, crazy. And I just want to tell people, stop worrying about what people are doing with their mouth and concentrate on your own mouth. That's why you don't eat after everybody when they put their hands on your plate. Now, y'all have yourself a good day.
Hey, you too.
You too, man. I ain't eating behind nobody, no way.
Yeah, people kind of kill me with what they don't eat behind, but I bet you could pass a joint. Boom, boom. I bet you ain't nobody sitting up tripping on that. So people, I used that word earlier with parsimonious. There's certain things we will do. It's going to be 18 degrees in New Orleans. It's cold, man. It's cold everywhere. Well, they said it was going to come down from Canada and get all the way throughout the country. So
I will say, I'm part of the youngest millennials, the last part of the millennials. But for me, growing up, women have always had an intricate part in the church, whether it was in the pulpit and auxiliaries, usher boards, all the nurses, all of that. So it's weird for me to hear anybody speak to the point of women not having leadership roles in the church, just because one, obviously I was raised by women. Obviously my brother and my uncles played significant parts as well, but teachers were women. I've always seen women in leadership roles, so I could never just envision women not having a leadership role in any aspect of endeavor that I have and am going to moving forward.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, women has always been in leadership role because when they birth you, they're teaching you, they're leading you, I should say the right way, I should say. So women has always been in leadership role. I just don't understand how, and I think that this is an ego thing with men, that they don't want to take authority from women. So it's the whole thing of, well, a woman shouldn't be a pastor, a woman shouldn't be in the leadership role because the man is the head of the household, and this and this and this and that. But even though with that, a lot of people take that wrong because they don't read the scripture in full. And so they take it and apply it like, well, you have to listen to me because I'm the man. Well, no,
and we have got to understand that was written 2,000 years ago. Very different times in terms of culture, the role of women. I mean, the whole thing. But you hit a good point about where we are as men, and I think a lot of it is male insecurity.
Yeah,
and so it's difficult. I'm with you and DJ. Man, I've always been around folks powerful women, and not threatened by powerful women. And then sometimes the biggest resistance is women, to women in leadership.
I've noticed that too.
So I think that there's a lot, but how do you erase when you talk about thousands of years of culture, and that's what you get. That's where you get the pushback, because our belief systems are so strong, and those things are personal belief systems. And so what we apply that to life, I want you to, when you get a chance to talk to my wife in person, Jermaine, ask her about that whole head of household thing. See what her reaction is going to be to you. But and I got that in terms of the tone. I know that people will get on me because from time to time, I'm being provocative, and I'll refer to the deity in the female gender, and be, well, God's not a woman, God's not a man either. But men wrote it. Men write it from their perspective. Mm-hmm. Anytime you write something, you're writing it from your perspective, right? You have your own history. They talk about he who writes the history, right? That's why they're trying to change history in this country, change the narrative that America was built on appropriation of lands of indigenous people, that America was built on the back of free African slaves who came here and worked the land for nothing. And America is still benefiting from this whole principle of white superiority. Mm-hmm. So how do you unchange it? And I get a little Pollyannish because I'm going, it's I'm frustrated because I'm feeling like, damn, it's just like 1968.
So can I ask you this, since you know a lot about this history, and I don't want this question to seem dumb, but I don't know, so I'm asking. Now, from what we was taught, man, that the slaves built the White House. Mm-hmm. Did they name it the White House to I don't want to say make the black people mad that built it, or is it?
No, they could care less about those feelings. So, it was White House because it was white. I think it is symbolic. If you ever go to D.C., you will notice that the most of the federal buildings are done in they're light.
Okay.
I think the White House, the Capitol. Now I don't know if that's symbolic of white superiority or what that piece is, but I think they could care less about how the slaves are feeling about what they called the crib.
Oh, okay.
Just like call Silas and say, "Hey, Silas, what do you think we should name this place?" I mean, you helped build it. What do you think? Like they never consulted with enslaved people to get their feelings on things like your feelings really mattered. But yeah, I think Al brings up a point. I have learned that it takes a certain amount of courage to push against certain currents.
Yeah.
If you've been taught a thing, mm-hmm. and you've been taught that thing is right, mm-hmm. only upon further review to find out that maybe that thing isn't right. There's still a whole lot of people who are still holding on to that thing that may or may not be right. And we all have our biases in terms of how we view. We have those things how we interact with women, how we interact with each other. I mean, we bring our lived experiences into a situation. Like for me, it's almost counterintuitive that anybody could hate their mama.
Yeah.
But the reality is that there are some people out there who've had some experiences and probably justified in the hate of their mama. Now, that wasn't my life or lived experience, but other people, that is their lived experience.
And you know what? It's funny. Lately, I've been seeing, like, I didn't grow up with a pet, and so I really wasn't fond of pets. But lately on social media, for whatever reason, I'm getting all of these pet videos and reels, which is really funny and enlightening to me. Right. But when I was in high school, someone had lost a pet, and I was just like, what's wrong with them? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not their mom or their grandma or somebody. And so one of the teachers pulled me to the side and broke it down to me. It was like, well, some people don't have the best relationships with their parents, and so they may lean on that pet
or dog
for comfort and friendship, companionship. And then I never, until he said that to me, I never looked at it that way. But now, like, as I am just seeing more people embrace pets and have pets, I am beginning to understand why they call them like a sibling or their child, or all of these terms that we would use for humans for their pets.
Well, anything that you spend time with constantly and love on, you begin to love it. So then when you lose it, because I used to feel the same way. Like I see people crying and having funerals for cats and all type of stuff. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
what's
man,
wrong
stop
with
it.
you?
It's just an animal. Go buy another one that look just like
That's
the one you just
exactly
had.
what I
But
would think.
then I just like you, I had somebody pull me aside and kind of give me, kind of tell me like, well, a person has this animal, just like you said, they lean on it for companionship and they embrace this animal. So when they come in the house, they see this animal run to them, they run to it. And every day it becomes the norm. So when you lose it, it's like, okay, I just lost a family.
But it was what you cited in your perspective, the sense of feeling loved, and how important that is, that we get, and that gets back to the conversation we were having on Wednesday about Ubuntu, where we see the humanity and our connectedness in terms of humanity, and there are a lot of lonely people, and how do you get through it? But that excellent point, John. Deep on a Friday. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on air.
Good morning to you all, and assalamu alaikum to you all. Mr. Parris,
yes, sir.
I was listening to you, and I sometimes it just trips me out, but you are like a pastor over like a congregation of people, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay, then that makes sense to me. Now it all makes sense. So you don't go before people teaching the things that you say about God on the radio to a bunch of other people, right?
Well, what do I say about God that?
Well, I just was wondering, because when you said you were talking about the making a distinction about God is not being a man, or he's not, you said something about him being a woman, but he's not a man either, or something like that.
I'm saying it's God, but let's be clear, God doesn't have a gender.
Oh, okay, Mr. Parris. Mr. Parris,
does God have a gender?
Of course he does, Mr. Parris. That is
he does.
God is a spirit.
Mr. Parris.
God is a spirit.
That's how you refer to it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, as a person with a scientific mind, you would know.
Please, Mr. Parris, you can't. Don't. Please, Mr. Parris. God, Mr. Parris. The word God means possessor of power and force. If you have power and force, Mr. Parris, if you have in whatever arena that you might operate in, that makes you a God, Mr. Parris.
Does it make you male?
That's why, Mr. Parris, you could be a female and have the power and force.
It could go either way. That's the point.
You trivialize.
I'm not trivializing it. I'm trying to get away from some of these terms that we use.
Mr. Parris, you utilize deceptive intelligence to rationalize.
No, I'm pushing up against your belief system, Christopher, and you're a scientist.
I don't deal with beliefs, Mr.
Yes,
Parris.
you do.
That's the beginning. I'm in the know, Mr. Parris.
Okay, so help me out then. Is God a male or a female?
He's a man, Mr. Parris.
How's he a man?
Clear on that.
How's he a man?
He made man in his likeness and after his image, Mr. Parris. You are a complete.
He made woman too.
Woman too in his likeness, bro. God is a spirit.
Parris, no, that's foolishness in my mind, Mr.
No, come on.
But listen to this, Mr. Parris. Mr. Parris, when God created himself, the man was established. His second act was to create the woman. You all think that women came from the rib of a man. You are so far out there.
I never said that.
With your nonsense.
That's what the Bible says.
And you
but biologically, I know that's not the case.
Mr. Parris, you utilize deceptive intelligence.
Okay, well, you can call it what you want to call it, but I'm just saying, you read.
It's absolute lies.
Okay.
You're stuck.
So you're saying, hold on, Christopher. I'm gonna do what you normally do. Bring him down. I'm gonna do what you normally do. You talk about that you all into science. If existence is hundreds of billions of years old, that's existence. The solar system, the planets. Then how, if man is only 40,000 years old, can you explain the gap?
Record. He has no beginning nor an end because God is the first man, Mr. Parris.
That's how you're referring to. No, God is more than man.
God is not a man.
God is more than man, dude.
Then what are you? Then are you a they, a them, a it?
I'm a man, but I'm not God.
Well, how the hell, if you are man and you are created after his likeness and his image, he does not reflect you? You people are ridiculous.
So,
If you
question.
listen to a homosexual and you applaud him, it is absolute asinine.
Because who he loves had nothing to do with the truth of what he talks about.
Exactly.
No effeminate will see the hereafter, Mr. Parris.
Okay, that's a judgment.
Yeah, Doc.
That's right.
That's
and
a
that's
judgment.
not my judgment.
That's a judgment.
Men can't procreate, Mr. Parris.
How about men who walk away from their families and don't take care of their families? Will they receive a reward?
Mr. Parris, that means that you have abandoned your post.
No, it doesn't.
That's your problem.
I just believe God is bigger than. I just think God is bigger than all of this.
Mr. Parris, you are crazy to me.
Okay, well that's great, man.
Wow.
Is that a diagnosis?
Well,
I appreciate you, man.
Well, listen, I mean, to be honest with you, since we talk in scripture, the scripture said God is not a man that he shall lie, nor the son of man that he shall repent. So that right there, if you want to look at it from that side.
How we get on this?
Oh, because he just.
I know. Truth is truth.
Yeah.
If he accepts that the existence, we talk about existence.
Because of what Al said.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he accepts that existence is billions of years old, then you have a tough time when you talk about man as we know it, who's only been here 40,000 years. So God must be bigger than a man. God must be bigger than a woman.
Yeah.
I'm just using some logic here. And so that has nothing to do. And that's the problem with when we use religion for science, right? That's a problem. The science does not negate God. The science may give us maybe a better appreciation of creation, and even then we still can't. So it was a man who wrote it. He's writing it from his perspective. You didn't have women there saying, "Hey, can I write part of the Bible?" No, it was men. It was patriarch. It was a male dominated, and this pushes up against a lot of teachings and belief systems we have. Right now, if I ask the question, are men and women equal? Yeah. So then, if men and women are equal, then why is it that man should naturally be head of the household? Because the Bible said it. Yeah, but the Bible said it because of the position of where women were. We're looking at it now in a world where women can own property, right? That women can vote. That women are, for the most part, fully created as human. That goes against a lot what we were taught. But that doesn't get us away. Don't let that get in the way of how we should be the best human beings that we should be. And that's what religion should do. But if you're using religion to try to explain the creation of the world, you're going to be very disappointed. I'm just saying it's too, the vastness of creation, the vastness of the creator is bigger than us. Mm-hmm. We do it from this human-centric, everything around, every existence revolves around human beings. That is not true. That's our perspective. You know how I know that ain't true? Because they built those houses up in the hills in California, and when creation does what creation naturally does, have a natural fire, did it stop because man was there? It sure did not. Do floods stop because man is there? They do not. Earthquakes not happening because man is there? They still happen because that's the science. That's the world we live in. But that's just me. What do I know? You're listening to Community Voice. Take a break. We'll be right back.
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We are the New Pitts Mortuary.
welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on there.
It's the dude from the dungeon.
All right. Dude from the dungeon.
All right. It was this scientist. He was talking to God. He said, God, I don't think we need you no more. We know how to clone people. We know how to heal sickness. We know how to build tall buildings. So I don't think we need you no more. So God said, can you make man out of dirt? The scientist said, yeah. He reached down and grabbed a handful of dirt. God said, hold on, you got to have your own dirt. How does you hear me?
All right, man. I think I'm gonna get. All right.
Give it to him.
Right.
Give it to him.
All right. Yeah, that was clever.
That's good, man.
All right.
I appreciate you. But there is this thing where it says the man can neither destroy or create matter or energy, right? And it's true. We can go in and we create things, but we create it from what already exists. We're not taking anything out of it that did not exist and then brought it into existence, other than maybe bringing, if you do chemistry, you bring together all these different ingredients, right? But they were all things that were available. And like you said, man can't create dirt.
Man can't create the atmosphere. Man can't create stars, moon, sun.
Right. So, but we have this again, and I say it, and then that gets us into when you begin to use images. I always use the Sistine Chapel there at the Vatican. When you go up and you see a picture of God, hey, a white dude.
Yeah.
And the crazy piece about that was if we just look at the anthropology, we find out that white people came after, right? So this idea, but it's superiority. And so even in the languages, and again, I said this off air, it is not the Bible. It's how we're taught the Bible. And so when people go in and something we never thought about in the past, that it might require a certain level of scholarship, it was based on we believe. And then we're going to take those scriptures that justifies our belief system and then make it part of our theology, make it part of our operational dogma. And so then people go, well, and then people back you up, because there's two ways you can back a person up. You can say God said it, or you can say the Bible said it. And for a lot of people, they'll stop questioning. And just because you're doing other things, reading, doing research on it, I asked my buddy Ron Banks, my late buddy Elder Ron Banks, Church of God in Christ. We were talking one day, and I said, the more I read, the more questions I have, but those questions are also lead me to answers. And so again, truth can be a very uncomfortable space. It can be a very uncomfortable space. And so we put a lot, but and let's just be realistic. You're not just feeling your way through life. They tell you if you're going to make a decision, don't make it based on your feelings. Right. Make based on the facts.
Yeah.
So, but again, what's that got to do with God? Yeah. We're talking about the decision that you're making in your life.
Yeah.
And I wish people, say, I consulted the Lord before this one. No, I did it based on my feelings. I did it based on the best facts available, and you can make, now let me do it. And I'm not going to do it because it's Friday, but there's a way that seems right unto a man,
come on,
that
man.
leads to destruction. And all that's saying is that we can go in and people, no, I'm just saying in terms of this comes down to conscious decision making, that I will go in and do something. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of decisions I made in passion, I paid for. I paid for it. Now, maybe your existence has been very different, that you've always, but you were talking about a situation. You can be in the most passionate relationship. You're making a whole lot of bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a moment of sobriety. I love that Jay-Z song. Thank God for giving me this moment of sobriety. When you get to where you're clearly thinking, not feeling, not believing, thinking and knowing, those are two different things. And that's how we try to get to it. Now, did I say that feelings? Of course, feelings are important. But you can't, like, what did they used to say? Love don't pay the bills. You got all that passion. At some point, somebody got to get up and go to work. You know, people, we got the Holy Spirit. They ain't keeping the lights on in your church. You wrote a check.
Yeah.
Know the difference. Yeah. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yeah. Right,
good morning. You on there?
Good morning.
They drop. Calls drop.
Yeah, you're right though, Keith.
I mean,
110%.
And love God, but you know, I mean, just some things is.
But you can't make decisions based off of consulting God. You know, like you meditate on it, you pray on it. You know, for that clarity, like you was just talking about, because a lot of times,
slow me down.
You know, our brains could be racing. Like you said, we could be in a moment of passion or emotion to where something could potentially tell us slow down. You know, think this through, make this decision. In a moment of clarity.
I trained supervisors, and I said that do not respond or react to your staff when you're feeling emotional.
Right.
They send you that email and they talking trash in the email, and you gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Take a walk, have a smoke, do whatever you do to bring it down, and then come back and respond and not react. Prisons is filled with men and women who made a passionate decision
off of temporary feelings.
Right. Yeah. And now you dealing with a permanent consequence because of a temporary feeling. Because guess what? Feelings come and go, man.
That's true.
That's the one thing about feelings that, you know, you can feel this way today and feel differently tomorrow.
If they give you 10 years, it ain't permanent. It's just 10 years.
No.
Let me say a little bit more solid. But maybe that's probably right.
But even if it's 10 years, you still got to sit, because it's 10 years it's taken out of your life for a decision you made if you would have just stepped back and thought about it. Because that almost happened to me. I was in a situation that if I would have done something, it was warranted, but it still would have put me away.
And guess what? It didn't change the situation.
It didn't change because the situation still happens.
Right.
Situation still happens.
It's like Rafiki smacking him upside the head.
Yeah.
What you do that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
It's in the past.
Get over it.
I did it.
You were healed. Welcome to the program.
He swiped at him again. He ducked. He said,
so you
learned.
Yeah.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, my man.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is a good conversation. Always good conversation. I'm guessing Keith had Bible study now on the radio.
I'm getting a little frustrated with it, but it seems to be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, it's been biblical. Well, God deals with us on a conscience level, man. You know, you sit down and how do you get a word from God? How do you hear from God if He's not dealing with the conscience?
Prayer.
You know, the conscience level is where the spirit resides, man. You know, and so I hear people talking, and you know, I heard brother TJ, you was talking about so much cussing in the movies. I gotta agree with you, my man. But there's also another vein to that pumps oxygen and energy to homosexuality. Some of these are perfectly good movies, don't even need any sexual scene in it, and they inject sex right into the movie and destroy a perfectly good movie. That's where my hate is coming in, man. I really hate that, especially if you got young kids, okay, that are watching this. See, what we're doing is we're powder making small children that the lifestyles that some people are living is okay, and it cuts their production off. They won't be able to reproduce if they go full-fledged into that lifestyle because they'll have no desire to. They'll find all kind of ways not to. They'll say, why bring a baby into this mean world? I don't want to be a part of that. I've been a part of this lifestyle all my life. I knew it when I was a baby.
Is that a decision? Is that a decision that only gay people make? My wife and I chose not to have children.
Well, let me explain something to you. Is that your first wife?
It's my only wife.
That's your only wife. How many girlfriends did you have before?
What they got to do with my wife and I decide not to have
because
kids?
It might be that you can't reproduce, brother.
Okay. Well,
that could be. I mean, that could be.
Because my pullout game strong, Meech.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
There it is.
I can't go with that. My pullout game strong, man.
Do you having kids?
No.
You say you.
Well, that's because
Your pullout.
No. Don't you fool yourself, DJ, on that. Hold on, Meech.
Let's not even have that. I know
Don't you
he
fool
was
yourself.
talking to you.
No,
Do what you got to do. But I'm saying that, can we get back
some
to
people don't got a good pullout.
But some people make choices that they're not going to have kids for whatever reasons.
So okay, that's fine, brother. If you want to limit it, your genealogy to being just you and then you are no more, then I mean, have at that if that's what you want to do. But some of us want to live forever, and the only way we live forever is that we keep reproducing.
Kids ain't gonna have you living forever.
Oh yes, it will.
No, it will not.
Somebody right now, way back in creation, started having sex, and here
your ancestors back during enslavement, they ain't living forever.
They living forever, brother. Keep through you. They on the radio. They could never believe it.
But maybe then some people will be able to outlive forever through other people. Don't have to be my kids.
Yeah.
Well, how can that happen though?
Because like expressions or phrases that you do. You know, my uncle. Hold on. My uncle has this funny little handshake that he does, and so he don't have kids, but whenever I do this handshake with somebody be like, where you get that from? You know what I'm saying? And then I tell them, they were like, oh, I know, dude. I say, hey, that's my uncle. You know, so it could live on through that.
Hey, man,
expressions and phrases.
Listen, God forbid anything to happen to Unc or you, but when y'all done, that handshake gonna be done. But see, them babies keep living and producing. And what happens is, look here, man. If this was let me just trash that thought, because I would dive into something. I'd have to go deeper to explain it. Listen, man, to keep this surface, that's my hate for the day. When I hear people call in and talk, see, I can't let people keep defying my God. See, how can you do that? How can you allow somebody to keep defying your God, Keith? The big giant come out every day and raise his fist up to the God that you claim you serve, and you laugh at it. You have
man. Again, and we don't want to get into deep Bible study, but God didn't send David to kill Goliath. David saw.
No, he anointed him to kill him.
Oh, where does it say that?
Huh?
Where does it say that?
You know he anointed him.
No, I'm asking you, where does it say that in the narrative?
What do you mean?
In the narrative.
Where the Spirit of the Lord fell up on David, man. David said, look here.
In no way. You need to go back and reread.
I done read it.
No, go back and reread it.
The whole book in chronological order.
Don't do that. Sometimes you got to go back and check yourself to make sure that what in fact you said. But just reading that narrative, David was there dropping off something. David saw something going on. David then found out, he asked the question, so what happens if you kill the giant? Yeah, David was offended. I don't know how you offend God. Again, you're putting feelings on God, but okay. So that was David. That was David.
Listen, what about when he was anointed? What about when they...
It got nothing to do with Goliath. That's a different piece.
It all comes together. It all comes together.
Okay. That's two different stories, but I know what you're talking about. He was anointed.
When he was sent to Jesse's house, and then when he got on board, and he said, no, it's got to be somebody else.
I got all of that. Nobody's arguing with you about the so-called anointing for David to become king.
Why do you say the so-called?
Okay, the anointing of David. Okay, that David became, because I know that would get you upset.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. You need to be upset because, man, your head is for a play.
Anyway, but I want you to go back. Here's your homework assignment. Go back and read the narrative, and at any point, other than David asking the question, "How you letting this uncircumcised Philistine offend our God?" It wasn't that God sent him there. He was there to drop something off, and when he saw everything that was going on,
he like, hold on.
But do you think that God knew?
I'm sure God knew, but again,
when he sent him,
he didn't send him. His daddy sent him.
Well,
listen.
But I just read it. I'm just reading.
Hold on, but you got to look at that piece. They said that David said, well, what's this guy out here talking
That's
crazy
David.
about our God? Hold on. So his brothers and them said, boy, you better get out of here. That's Goliath, man. He going to smash you. You better get out of here. David said, look here.
And then David got to talk to somebody else, and his brothers and said, what you get for killing the king, or killing Goliath? It said, oh, you get money, and you get to marry the king's daughter. David was all in. That's David's ambition, man. David's all in.
Listen, you cut off what I was saying. He said, look here, David said, hey, man, y'all having big fun over there, man.
I'm just saying that, but see, what happens is, when you were in Sunday school, when you were, hold on, Meech, when you were in Sunday school, when you were in Sunshine Band, when you were in Vacation Bible School, the way that you were taught, you're taught a story, right? That's how we teach, because these are kids and kids understanding. You go back and read it. And when you go back and read the narrative, take the narrative for what it was. This was an issue.
Listen to this right here. David said, they told David, you better get out of here. Hold on once, brother. They said, David, you better get out of here. David said, the same God that anointed me to kill the bear and to kill the lion will deliver this uncircumcised Philistine. God will give me the power to deliver this uncircumcised Philistine. So come on now. You will go back and read the story.
No, what you're taking, though, is David going in, and I think he said that to Saul, when Saul questioned, how are you, a boy, a lad, going to go out? And then David got to talking about how he had killed bears and he had killed all these mountain lions. But here's the other thing.
So, okay, then, I got you.
Okay, so but what I'm saying is that was David. The Lord didn't send David there to kill Goliath. That is not what the narrative says. David was there because his daddy sent him there to take food to his brothers, right? And to pay tribute and give tribute to the king. And then with all the commotion going on, then David asked the question, how come ain't nobody checking this dude? And then, they got into it. And then David said, what you get for killing him? And they said, oh, man, you get some money and you get to marry the king's daughter. And if you follow David, you found out that David was a very ambitious young man. And so next step, now he found himself in a loveless relationship because that was a political marriage when he had to marry, I think her name was, she had a male name, Michael. So anyway, appreciate you, Meech. Call on to the program. I don't want to do Bible study on Friday.
July 4th, 1950.
Good morning. You're on there.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. I was trying to catch you guys before I came into my doctor's appointment.
Oh, okay.
But all I'm saying is, we all have. Am I checking? Yeah, everything is just nice. Everything. Okay. Yeah. All of us have different opinions, and that's good. We all come from different environments, and just because we share the same skin hue does not mean we think alike. So sometimes you give people so much time, and everyone makes decisions in their lives, and they shouldn't have to justify it to no one. Once I tell you what my decision is, that's it. You can accept it, and I don't have to further expound on it.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is this: we better get together on some things, or we're going to be in some serious trouble. How we read, how we understand things makes a difference. What I believe, no one's going to change me. And I'm not going to try to change anyone. I'm just going to tell you what I believe. We should be able to sit to a table, everybody throw their ideas out there, and let's see what sticks and what works that's going to help a multitude of people. If you want to go far, go by yourself. If you want to help others, then you take others with you. That's a proverb, and I said it wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's not all about you.
I agree with you when you say you have the right to believe. It's when you begin to inflict your beliefs on other people. Exactly. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It's when you start making laws based on your belief that's impacting my life.
Oh, that's wrong.
Right. So that's where I think that's the natural progression that, when you go out and you say, oh, but now we need to go in. And so if it's a theology based on your belief, How do you force that on me? That's like saying America is a Christian nation. America is not a Christian nation. The predominant religion in America is Christianity, but that doesn't make it a Christian nation because
the basis of America was so that people could have religious freedom.
Believe what you want to believe, but your belief ends at the end of your nose. Your belief. I do not have to say to you where I'm impacting your behavior because I have a belief system. And I think that that's what we do. And so the people in the majority might have a strong belief that could be wrong. And then it's codified and is made law. You know, we don't live in Iran. Iran is a theocracy, right? We don't live in Iran. So it's not where the religious people lead the country. America is supposed to be a secular nation. And it's something that freedom from religion is as important as freedom to religion. The fact that I don't have to have a religion. Right? I don't have to say this is what I believe and this is how, based on you tell me this is what I should believe. So that's part of it. Now, do we put pressure on people in America to think and feel a certain way? Oh, yeah, we do. Sure, we do.
Look at what we're doing. Look at what we're doing right now. And people are in office right now. And it's not about the well-being of the country or to your political party.
Well, that wouldn't be Christian in my mind.
Okay. It's about one man, 53 people. He wouldn't beat them down so that you could put an unqualified person in office because Donald Trump promised him something. And it's not for the betterment of us. And then he has a raggedy character like the president. Where are we going?
But you know what? When you say it doesn't benefit us, but there is some us out there who are going to benefit from it. So when it may or may not benefit me, but trust me, there were people who supported him who believe it's going to benefit them. Just like us voting for Obama believed that it would benefit us. And there were some people who felt like Obama being elected wasn't a benefit to them.
Okay, can I say one thing?
You sure can.
There are different people that are needed at different times because of their personality. Before Trump told them, before I get in office, you better have your mind made, or else it's going to be hell to pay. Did that help them make a decision? I don't know. But I know he also said everybody's not going to get what they want. So you better start trying to talk to each other.
But everybody never gets what they want, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And you know what? To the victors go the spoils. You know, if you're on the winning team, your team is going to get what it is because they won the election. Mm-hmm. And some of us have been on the winning team, and then we've been on the losing team.
Okay. And let me tell you something. Is that fair?
No, it's like, yeah, I think it's fair.
Is that fair? Is that fair to
Yeah, I think it's fair because it's democracy.
People that have lost their homes, any benefits?
Okay.
That's fair.
Now, you talk about fair, it's probably fair. Now, is it just? That's a different thing. When you say fair, I mean, use this term like, how do I describe if it's fair? What I'm saying is fair is then relative to the individual who's either being...
Please, do not justify wrong.
Who's justifying wrong? I'm just saying, you asked me, was it fair? It depends on who's looking at it.
From who lens.
Right. You know, to you, it might not be fair. To somebody else, it's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it couldn't be perfectly fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's the world we live in. And see, that's the other piece of it. Just because I disagree with it and I might believe that it's wrong, that's not going to change another person's belief system saying, but I believe that it's right.
Wait a second. A person, thousands of people have lost their homes. People are raising money. Where is the human nature of humanity? What are we teaching our children? And remember, it could be some kids listening. Some that's in your Sunday school class.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about? No, I'm just saying, in terms of fairness, I'll get back to those people who lost their homes. A lot of those people who lost their homes financially are in a different situation than the people who were in Katrina who lost their homes.
Okay,
right?
Wait a second now.
So when you talk about that, yeah, it's tragic that you lost your home, but you're in a better situation than the victims of Katrina, and then further victimized by the lack of response or poor response from the U.S. government. The people you hear out there complaining now when they're going after Mayor Bass, what's her name? Bass. They're going after her because they say, where's government? Government wasn't going to stop your house from being burned down. I'm sorry. It was one of these natural occurrences that you could have a whole lot of water, unless they had like a typhoon coming in with a lot of water to drop it. Those fires are going to happen. And you built. People purposely chose to build. And they tell you, if you build in this area, one of the downsides of you building this area are brush fires. And your house could burn down. You still take the risk.
That's true. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. Why am I so loud?
It's that type of time.
Type of tea.
You know, Meech called, you know. Chris got on you, you know.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah, Doc, you
got your pressure.
My wife's in there.
I was elevated to start the program, you know what I'm saying, with my hate. You know, so it just matriculates between all of us.
Great job, Keith.
Yeah, call me treadmill. That's what I'm feeling like right now. Great job, Keith. You took one for the team. Jesus. You took one for the team.
Yeah, you took that. Man.
They got a very special place in hell for me, don't they?
Hey, somewhere.
Man, look at my room. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris was like, stop it, Keith, stop it.
Mr. Parris.
He even told me to stop it.
Mr. Parris.
Jeez.
Yeah, he did tell you.
Yeah, he told me to stop it. I said, wow.
Wow, man.
Hey, yeah, Chris was on the road, though.
But here's the thing I'm so happy about. That Chris and whomever, you're not the final arbiter.
Yeah.
There's a creator. She sits high. Yes, she looks.
Oh my!
Oh, they gonna get you.
Hey,
They gonna get you.
Hey, Chris, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna handle that for you, Chris. I got you.
They gonna get you.
DJ, what you got, man?
Hey, it's supposed to be cold this weekend, so make sure you are warm with love and compassion for everyone within our city.
Yeah, and especially as we commemorate America's greatest prophet on Monday. We won't be here with you on Monday.
Happy birthday to Muhammad Ali.
Happy birthday,
greatest.
Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Thank you, Devo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you, DJ. Callers, we thank you. The good Lord willing, Creek Don't Rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Tuesday. Y'all have a wonderful King Day weekend and go from this place in peace.